He hit it. Okay, recording's back on, so we're good.
Good deal.
All right, so the case study, that's what we're supposed to be looking at tonight. Did anyone want to take the lead with the questions? I have my answers written out, but I don't have a copy of the questions.
Okay. Well, no problem. Jennifer, you're...
Oh no, my computer's locking.
Can you hear me, Jennifer?
Yeah, I can hear now. I thought my computer was locking up. Sometimes it does this when it's recording. I don't know. It's my internet. I kicked everyone.
Okay.
It should be good.
I was saying I'll spearhead the questions to keep the session
awesome.
moving.
That's awesome.
Okay. The case study. The case study was the principal as the instructional leader. And we have here question number 1. What do you think of the way James handled his particular situation, considering his limited background? That was the first question related to the case study. Do we just want to chime in with our responses?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
All right, so this is Stephen, by the way. I'm actually driving.
Hello?
Oh, I was getting a phone call.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
So, but here's what I wrote for question number 1. I said that James to start the reading program to help the students at the school, and he took it upon himself to attend the conferences with the instructional coach. So he was being proactive at learning how that program could be implemented in the school, and also how to increase the test scores to show growth. So I do think he did, considering his limited understanding of the concept, he did a really good job of trying to make things better for the reading program.
No, I'll agree. I mean, I thought he did a great job with his background by not trying to pretend like he knew it all. And, the staff already knew his background. So it wasn't like he could, fake it or anything. They knew exactly where he came from because that was the school he was at, so they knew exactly what knowledge he brought. But I thought he did a good job by bringing in the coach, from that school, and also, asking the other teachers for help and support. So I thought that was pretty good.
I agree.
To add to that, I said basically the same thing. I said it was positive. He took the advice from his superiors, which were his supervisors, the superintendent. He didn't just brush it off to the side. He actually took what they said and he used it. A lot of times people don't know how to receive the advice as a constructive feedback to help them build upon. Okay. Question 2 says, what more could be done to help the reading scores in this school? I'll just go ahead and respond what I had. I said James and Clarice could have completed a data analysis of the actual reading scores from past years to look at maybe some of the commonalities of the data to see why the students were consistently performing at a non-proficient level. That was my takeaway, that maybe they could have dug a little bit deeper into the data to determine why, and so that they could provide some extra support to those teachers.
Right, okay.
I had listed there that he didn't use any of the district staff that were offered to him, that he could have used the district curriculum team, the district reading coach. He could have used some of them to bring in along with his higher performing staff members, and that, you know, he could have looked at common assessments and the way the kids were assessed to look at that data.
I suggested that he could, what is it? I suggested that James could do like an incentive, because when I was going through school, we had to, in order to read, or if we read and did well and our reading scores went up, then we got an incentive like a pizza or like the little gift certificate to go get our own personal pizza. That way you can get students engaged and wanting to try to read more. I also said allowing students to participate or have speaking parts in programs instead of just having adults get up and speak, to show, to demonstrate their growth in their reading.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
All right. So my suggestion that you know, he was visiting the classrooms every day, and rather than teachers like limiting the reading responsibility to only the English classes, they could all the other subject areas could be more proactive at incorporating reading in lessons. You know, like kind of cross curricular. You know, and it doesn't have to be like literature specific, but making sure that they understand like sentence structure and question structure, because all of that transfers to when they take their standardized tests. Just being able to understand, you know, the questions that are being asked, regardless of the subject.
I put in there that students increasing eyes on text in every classroom, and no matter what classroom it is, like having like a certain amount of time with eyes on text, and having teachers model reading and teach like explicit, like how to use, like kind of what he was saying, like how to use text features and stuff like that, and going in and actually digging out information and making them prove where they found their information in the text or in the whatever the written material is they're reading.
Okay. I'm taking some good notes tonight. Question number 3 says, what additional resources could James utilize to help the school improve? I guess I'll go ahead with that one as well. I put that James could have relied a little bit more on his school improvement team. That way he gets an even representation of the school's voice. And the school improvement team kind of more understands the needs of the school, and they function as a whole to actually determine and come up with strategies that is best beneficial to that school culture, is what I said. So I thought that maybe he should have really involved the school improvement team in his restructuring process as he was looking for ways to improve the school.
I put that James could have had his reading coach start specific coaching cycles with the teachers that would focus on the skills and strategies identified through the data analysis of past testing data. And I put that, you know, this would help the teachers by providing additional supports in their classrooms. And I also put that he could have looked into changing the schedule to allow for a block reading period to focus on balanced literacy and writing workshops, and that he could have used his stronger teachers to create model lessons and then had them videoed and sent them to teachers so they could see skills and strategies being used within the building that were working for students. And then I also put that he didn't look to outside sources to provide professional development for his staff. His reading coach, he attended conferences, but they didn't send any key staff members, and they didn't let the key staff members look at the resources that they were thinking about purchasing.
Right. Yes, I said the same thing. That professional development is important. Like, if, you know, if some of the teachers are in his shoes and they don't know how to teach reading, then, you know, they may want to do it, but they don't know how. So they need that professional development, some reading foundations training or something like that. As well as he could look into explicit reading programs like Wilson Reading or whatever, some kind of reading program for those really struggling readers, or or those that are in, I don't know, resource settings or something like that. If there's a high number, that might be a need there. I'm not sure, but.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I had a very similar. Yeah, I had very similar answers. I also said that the teachers, James can instruct the teachers to
Stephen?
participate in like accounting online. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can I continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I was saying that James could instruct the self-growth or even participate in also reading incentives for the students would also be a good resource that would encourage them to want to practice reading at home or on their free time just to receive a reward. There's also a resource that I like to use, WorkKeys, which has a lot of good reading material for the students. They can use that as a bell ringer or during a reading period, like Jennifer was saying. Those are the resources that I said would help the school.
My resources, I said that I said he can contact another school with high scores and see if he could visit that school or just ask that school what type of strategies and resources that they use to see if he can use them in his building. And I also said that he could attend more of the seminars that are geared towards improving reading. Yeah. Also, I do apologize. I do not feel well at the moment, which is why I'm in and out. So I do apologize.
Get well, Marcus.
Mhm.
Okay, we have one more question, and then everyone can clear off. The last question says, what could he be sacrificing, if anything, by placing an extraordinary emphasis only on the reading program? And my response feedback to that was, with focusing specifically on reading, James is sacrificing losing control or sustainment in his other subject areas, as well as focus areas within his school. As he's restructuring, he should look at the school as a restructuring as a whole, while other subject areas may be performing strongly and reading poorly. He could get some things in place to help sustain the process and make sure that those scores continue to grow and those students continue to provide growth, because it's hard to grow high students. You can get your growth from your lower students' performances, but it's very hard to grow those high students. So I said he should get some things in place, some strategies and systems in place for those teachers in those other core content areas to help continue to make sure that they are growing in data as well.
I can't remember exactly how to read the question. I'm driving right now. I don't have the question in front of me. But I think it said something about placing such an emphasis on the reading program. So
it says, what could he be sacrificing by placing an emphasis only on the reading program?
Only on, okay. Okay, so I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking anyway. I said that I didn't think that he would be sacrificing anything by placing such an emphasis on the reading program. However, he must, oh gosh, sorry. Like I said, I'm driving.
Okay.
He must keep a balance and not let other areas fall behind while he's focusing on bringing up those reading scores and reading levels. Because reading impacts students in all subject areas across the curriculum and will continue to do so in all areas of their lives throughout their lives. So I think, personally, I just say that reading is the single most important skill that a student can learn. Because if one can read well, they are able to access information and learn other things. So I just think reading is so super important, but at the same time, he can't let, he can't just completely focus on that, I guess. He has to keep his eye on the other subjects as well, and keep that training going and, so the balance, I guess. He's got to put more emphasis, I guess, on the reading than anything else to bring it up. Does that make sense?
That's something what I said. There was no real there's not really a sacrifice. It's just he has to have that balance between the reading and the other subjects, because if he focuses more on reading without trying to worry about the other subjects, you'll have teachers who aren't really trying to, I guess, focus on their actual content, and then you'll have students who don't even take the other subjects serious because there's more emphasis on, oh, okay, I just need to worry about reading and not everything else.
Right.
I had to make sure that the reading was embedded into the other content areas, into the other subject areas, and that the studies, math, and science have that reading component to them, and that he acknowledges that the strategies, are balanced, the program's balanced with those informational text and the literary text, to make sure that everything's being looked at, and that the teachers have content area reading, in there with respect still to their standards.
Right. That's kind of along the lines of what I was saying, because it's very possible for James to achieve the goal without sacrificing anything. It's just teachers have to be aware of where reading is important for their content areas, and they have to maybe spend just a little time emphasizing that rather than taking the leading role for students when it comes to reading. They put some responsibility on them, make sure that they understanding that they understand what they read, because really that's what it comes down to, making sure that students understand what they read. And I think that's the biggest issue, not just reading, for pleasure, but understanding what they read.
Full information out.
Okay, I think we've all added feedback. We've answered all 4 questions, Jennifer. Is that all we were supposed to do?
That's what I thought. So we were supposed to answer the 4 questions, and now we have our reflection work to do that was listed in there to turn in. And
Right.
I'll send a link to the video so that we can put that on there with our paper too, so we can turn everything in at one time.
Yes.
It'll just take me a little bit. Right now the internet's working good, so this might load up quickly, but we'll see. If I don't, I'll get it up tomorrow for sure.
Okay, no problem.
I just don't know how long it's gonna take the internet with this stupid computer.
Take your time. We understand.
All righty.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Feel better, Marcus.
Thank you.
Yeah, get better.
Yeah, feel better.